to this computer. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Kelly Kane. I am the Executive Director of the Autism Caring Center, and I'm also one of the founders of the Autism Connecting Conference for Moms. We are traveling to Greenville this November to bring you a one-of-a-kind conference that really focuses on the caregiver. It did start out as just a lunch, and now it's a conference. So it is in demand a little bit, and we're really excited to bring this conference to Greenville. We have a whole amazing lineup of speakers. When you read their bios and backgrounds, you should be impressed because they have been at this probably longer than I have, providing resource to parents with special needs. And the first person I want to talk to today is Hampton. He is local to South Carolina, correct? And he reached out about being a vendor and I asked him to speak. So I'm going to let him introduce himself and go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Kelly, and thank you for all the work that you have put into making this conference happen. I know that we're super excited to be here. And so, again, thank you for the introduction. My name is Hampton Hodge. I am one of the planners here on the team at a special needs plan. And we're an organization that was founded in 2005. Have now been around for, this is our 20th year, that focuses on helping families build a coordinated, multi-generational plan, ensuring that their loved one is able to live as independently as possible. And that mom and dad, brothers and sisters, the rest of the family has that peace of mind, knowing that no matter what happens, their loved one has a plan and has the resources to hopefully achieve whatever that independence for them looks like.
Okay. So as somebody that cares for somebody with autism, um, that ebb and flow for a parent, I think is so hard. Do you help walk us through that? Because, some days I'm like, oh, he's got it. And then there's other days where I'm like, oh, he can't do this.
Yeah.
So as those needs change, how do you curtail? How do you help parents, plan for that as well?
Yeah, so typically what we like to do as just on the kind of the front end of a relationship is find out, specifically what is your family dynamic and situation, right? What is your loved one's diagnosis, abilities, needs? It can, as we've seen, vary in a lot of different ways. And so we like to find out what that is specifically from the parents because who knows better than mom and dad. Um, and then what we want to do is understand, okay, what are the supports in place that are needed to allow them to live that independence, whether it's assistance with activity of daily living. Are there certain government benefits involved that can help pay for some of these things? What are the routines and their structures? Do they need specific technology assistance, dietary restrictions? Do they
Right.
work? Do they not work? Right? We can go on and on. And so what we like to do is really take a deep dive into understanding those things
Okay.
so that we know long term what might be the financial resources needed if mom and dad aren't here, right? Whether something happens today or if everybody lives a long, healthy life, which is ultimately what we hope for. A lot of
Right.
us as parents hope that our children outlive us. And
Yeah.
that still might mean they're here for right 10, 15, 20 years without us. And do we know based on just that environment, what's going to be the cost for them to have to meet their cost of living and to get the supports that they need?
Right. Right. Absolutely. So, um, at the conference, we do a deep dive into this, and we're going to have a variety of people anywhere, no matter where they're at on the spectrum, or maybe there's somebody with a dual diagnosis that is
Yeah.
there. What what do you like to present to them at the conference? What will they be getting out of your speech there? What will
Yeah, so
you?
what we want to make families aware of, one, is just from an educational standpoint, all of the different, uh, just through feedback we have heard from parents, siblings, the number one thing we hear is what happens when I'm not here.
Yeah.
And so what we want to help families identify is, okay, what are the areas that we can make decisions in to help ensure that there's peace of mind there. So there's a lot of things in the financial space, right? If 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 your loved one, your son or daughter, um, is not able to support themselves financially, then as a parent, that almost brings kind of a second or third retirement into your plan. So
Yeah.
it can impact the way that you save as a parent.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that that there's the right legal structure, right? Wills, right? If some of you may have heard special needs trust, able accounts, we want to make sure that, right, are those pieces that need to be included in this planning. And if so, to help connect them. There's a lot of tax strategy and on the financial side in that we're talking about multi-generational. And so what we want to make sure is that if your loved one, and if you have multiple children as well, that money that you leave to your children, it's done in the right way, and that
Yeah.
we're able to have as much of that stay in your family as possible for their support.
Yeah.
Government benefit programs, right? Social Security, Medicaid, different state waiver programs. What are they? How can they help? How do you stay qualified? Making sure that overall that those pieces are there, and then what we call the communication strategy, which is just documenting, identifying, sort of like we talked about in your previous, question, Kelly, is what does your child, what does your loved one's life look like? And
Right.
if something happens to you, is all of that documented in a way that someone else can step in and
Yes.
know what needs to happen to keep that ball rolling?
Right. Right. And the further I get this journey, I'm starting to back down a little bit, realizing I too am guilty of not having that plan ready. But listening to you talk, it kind of brings a sigh of relief, knowing that there's somebody out there that cares and that really wants to help our families. I'm sure your background when you first started out, you weren't like, I'm going to help special needs families, or maybe you were. So can you just tell me like
Yeah.
your why, like why
Yeah.
special needs families? How did you get here?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. It's a kind of a full circle thing. My mother, I'm from the upstate in South Carolina. My mother was a speech language pathologist,
Oh, okay.
and so she taught most of the students in her class in the public school system were 4, 5, and 6 year olds that they were either diagnosed with autism, Down syndrome. So it was really fascinating. She was in a different school district than we went to school in, and they didn't always line up. So over the time, my brother and sister and I, we spent a lot of time in her classroom. Both of my
Okay.
parents worked, so if right, there were days where dad was working, we just went to school with mom.
Right.
And what
Yeah.
was really neat, I think we were able to, as 7 year olds, 8 year olds, 9 year olds, be introduced to kids who were, air quotes, not like us.
Not
And
typical.
and
Yeah.
and then she did a
Mhm.
really good job of instilling in us. I don't know in Pennsylvania, but she got us involved in the Miracle League down
Yes,
here at
we
an
have
early
those here.
age.
Yeah.
So she had us involved with that. And as I got into my own adulthood career, started
Yeah.
thinking about what am I going to do? Um, there was always different jobs and whatnot that I had. There was a hole, there's something missing. That
Yeah.
purpose was missing. That was right. Whereas, like you said, your why. And so when I got introduced in 2019 to Ryan Platt, our founder, um, I heard his story on the business and I said, I think this might be something that, is just meant for me.
Yeah.
Quickly, right, got involved and understood, okay, this is what we do. This is the demographic of families that we serve. And it's so unique in that it's the only group of people that cannot advocate for themselves.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so if we're not doing it and we're not helping families do it, then it's not getting done.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and our families, they're invisible and we have to make them visible.
Yeah, it really is a niche community. And, I appreciate like hearing your story and, hats off to your mom. Thank you, mom, for,
Yeah,
for
right.
like helping us find Hampton and bringing him to Greenville and giving him that compassion early on in life to like understand what he was going to be doing when he got older, but he just didn't know it yet. So,
Right. Right.
yeah, you just had no idea. Well, we are certainly looking forward to hearing you speak at our conference, November 15th, at the Hyatt Regency Greenville. All the information is on our website. I think Hampton's going to be putting out some information to his families as well. So if you follow
Absolutely.
him or the Autism Caring Center, you can check us out for more information then. But we really look forward to seeing you, and I can't wait to meet you. I'll see you there.
Thank you, Kelly, so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. I think we got it. I think that went really well.
How about that?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take
It-
one. We got it in one take, Kelly.
yeah, that's it. It's done. We're over. I think it's going to be really good.